Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tech Talk. We are trying something new today, and we're going live in a lot of places at the same time. So, hopefully, we are going to be helping a lot of folks today. Um, let's see if this one is working. It's not taking it over on the GroupTrack group side. So hopefully that will actually work. If not, everybody else is going to get this. So uh, I'm pardon my visual appearance. Yeah, okay, so that's not going to take the GroupTrack group. Whatever. Moving on, because we are going to be digging into this today. I am also in the middle of what started out as a little redecoration of the house has turned into a basically complete gut and renovation of the entire first floor. So that is some shenanigans, and also pretty exhausting. So today we are digging into the GroupTrack and HighLevel integration. I know everybody loves this. I know it's a pain in the butt, and it tends to be pretty confusing, right? So it's super frustrating and time consuming to manage a Facebook group, right? You got to engage with people. You have to, actually provide value, right? It's a great lead source, but if you are spending all your time manually approving people and adding their emails to a spreadsheet and then add it, either using a Zap or just copy pasting them into your CRM, that can be really, really exhausting and time consuming. I've had clients where they had someone and that was their full-time job, right? Which is crazy that you're paying someone to just copy paste email addresses, right? So, with that being said, what we're going to be teaching you guys is, GroupTrack plus HighLevel, right? That makes life so much easier so that you can, in one smooth action, approve people to your Facebook group and then automatically get them. Oh, what just happened? Okay, it's a lot. Okay, right, we're still going. Approve them to your group and not only instantaneously get them into your CRM. Oh my gosh, I couldn't remember the word CRM. Into your CRM, but you can use those member request questions to curate what kind of follow-up you're getting, right? It is going to make life really, really easy so that you can provide that white glove experience, so that you can really leverage your Facebook group as your lead generation machine, right? So what we're going to cover today is how to set up the integration. We are going to show you how to make sure that your tags are syncing, that your contacts are syncing, your pipeline stages are synchronized back and forth, as well as make sure that you're getting an email sequence. So when someone joins your group, they're getting an email sequence, which, if you're smart about it, is full of, has a link in each of them, driving them back to content in your Facebook group, which is how you fight the algorithm and make sure that people are seeing the content you want them to see. At Nerd Plus, make sure those videos you're linking them to are talking about lead magnets and resources you have, that you're running an automation called, it's not Post Tracker anymore. Now it is Autoresponder, is automatically responding to people who comment, right? So this way, it really turns your Facebook group from what seems like a time suck into a lead generation machine, right? Okay, so GroupTrack for your Facebook group, right? We're going to capture them. We're going to automate a welcome message, right? We're going to send them a DM automatically, and we're going to do tag them with the appropriate things you want to tag them as. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to share a screen. We're going to share this window to make life easy, and we're going to make me nice and tiny in the background. Can we not make this bigger? What if I do this? Will that help? Will that make it any bigger on the screen? All right, if I go full screen here. Yeah, okay, great. Now those of you guys watching the stream can see that better. Okay, awesome. So first, we're going to log in to our GroupTrack account and actually make sure that we are on the right team, which I am currently not. So let me switch over to my team. All right. And that is another cool thing you can do with GroupTrack is you can be on multiple teams and you actually have team seats. So your one subscription to GroupTrack actually covers you plus 5 additional team members, right? So that makes it really easy to delegate out who's following up with who. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, right? And actually, we got extra people that we don't need. So let me move them off. Okay, well, I'll deal with that later because that seems to be taking a little longer than I expected it to. But the GroupTrack 2.0 is pretty awesome. So first, I'm going to show you guys if you don't have anything set up in your account at all, right? We're brand new. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up from scratch, right? So the easiest thing to do is if you go into your HighLevel account, right? Like if you don't have a pipeline, you don't know what you're doing, right? Let's go ahead and actually start from GroupTrack, right? If you already have a pipeline, it is much easier to do the integration if your pipeline exists in HighLevel first. However, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know the pipeline stages to use, GroupTrack sets you up with some great templates. If you're a Nerdly user, we already have that built out on the HighLevel side so that you can do this the easy way. However, let's import a template so you guys can see. So we're going to set up the GroupTrack pipeline with a Facebook group. All right. So we're going to call this demo. We're even going to call this 12/11/24 so that we can also delete it when we're done because we don't want to have a bunch of erroneous ones. So what's really cool is you can see in here that not only do we have pipeline stages, we have phases. So this really makes it easy so you can understand how what you're doing, how it works, and all of that jazz. Let me grab my other window real quick. All right. Where'd you go? There we go. Okay, so we're seeing in the attract phase, which means that's like our lead generation, right? We're identifying them. We got the conversation started. Now we've qualified them, invite them to the group, and send them the link. On our nurture stages, this is where we're nurturing them, building a relationship, leading with value, right? And as we go, like leave a nugget with like #nugget. And what you're learning this way, you know what? We'll even do a giveaway. So we'll do a drawing. We'll give you guys a couple of days and we'll gift somebody a GroupTrack integration. Or if you already have it set up, we'll gift you an hour with a nerd herder. How awesome is that? Right? So let me know what you guys are learning, your favorite takeaways, or what you love about using GroupTrack plus HighLevel. Or if you're a Nerdly client and you just want to love on us, tell them what you think is special about us. So we got our nurture stage where we're going to lead with value. This way they're getting to know us. They're getting to see the resources that we offer. And this way, when we come into that conversions phase, that it's going to be a lot easier because they already understand what we do. They see the value. They're getting results, right? And then we have our retention. Now, just so you guys know, so you're super clear, right? You could have a completely separate, like if you do sales calls, you could have a separate pipeline for that. You could have a separate onboarding and retention pipeline. But this is your main pipeline to know where people are in your ecosystem, right? Because that is where this is really coming to play. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with all that, then just use this one pipeline and this one pipeline to rule them all, right? So we've got our pipeline, and it even already comes with message templates, right? Making it really easy so you know exactly what to say and when to say it. So now we're going to import this pipeline, right? So now we can make this our favorite pipeline. So it's the first one that pops up. If this is your only pipeline, please do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to come to integrations, right? Now, we can actually skip out of here because I want to show you guys integrations elsewhere because this is important to see. So this is where your integration connections live, right? Down here on the left menu, you hit integration connections, right? Because you only want to have one integration for each thing, right? Like, so this is my Google Sheets for making text simple, right? This is my HOA HighLevel, which is to a specific sub account, right? This is my HOA Google Sheet to a completely separate Google Workspace. And this is my Nerdly HighLevel integration for my the HighLevel GroupTrack integration for the Nerdly sub account. You need to keep only one integration to HighLevel for your sub accounts, right? For your account, right? If you are using multiple sub accounts, book some time with the Nerd Herder because that's advanced stuff, and that we will need to make sure we are hands-on to make sure it is done correctly. And it is a very, very high risk of error. So don't do that one alone. So now that we see that there's already a Nerdly HighLevel integration, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set this up with a different sub account so that I can show you guys how to do all the bits and pieces. All right. And we're going to pretend that we have a new HighLevel account and we're trying to use the GroupTrack way. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to integration connections. Oh, you don't actually build it here. I thought we did. Okay, cool. We're going to go back to the pipeline. Go to integrations. We're going to add an integration. That's a little bit confusing. So we're going to create a new connection in HighLevel. And we're going to call this demo with, let's pick a sub account we're going to use. Here we go. Demo your oil tools. Great. So that is your oil tools. Man, that's an old one. Man. So now we're going to come into our business settings. We're going to go into our HighLevel account, click on settings, and in our business profile, we're going to copy this API key, and we're going to put it over here. And then we're going to click back. We're going to go to the dashboard, and we're going to copy the dashboard URL. And we're going to click create. Now, what it's asking here is it wants to create a custom field called GroupTrack CRM link. We want to verify and continue. If that already exists, it will identify it and it will not create an extra custom field. However, if you do not have that custom field, it will create that custom field for you. This is a very, very important step. I use this custom field to do a lot of automations on the HighLevel side, right? Because if someone joins, oh, this is the pipeline. Sorry. They're saying if a contact is not found in HighLevel and needs to be created, they will be added to this list or pipeline, right? So in other systems, it's called a list. In our system, it's called a pipeline. So I am going to create a new pipeline and call this GTHL demo stage. And I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do. So I'm actually going to come back here before we continue. We're going to go to the demo. That was somehow switched to the wrong one. All right. So now we're going to copy and paste each of these pipeline stages. And it has to be exact on these stages. I mean, the spaces, the capitalization. So I've had clients who manually typed it in and it ran into issues. So I cannot say this enough. Command A, Command C, or Control A, Control C if you're on a Mac, and then Control V for paste or Command V, because you do not want to have a typo, because it's going to be really annoying. It's going to create new stages instead of copying, like syncing the stages. It's going to create additional stages at the end of your pipeline, right? So we're just copying and pasting. Now, if this pipeline already exists, you won't have to do this. So, and also if you have a new pipeline in HighLevel, like if that's where your pipeline already exists and you want to integrate it, you can just integrate it with a blank pipeline. Like you don't need to have any stages over in GroupTrack if the stages in HighLevel are set the way you want them to be, right? Did I do tagged? Yes. Because GroupTrack will just accept all of those stages as the new stage names and create the pipeline in GroupTrack for you. Does that make sense? Am I saying that in a way that folks are understanding? So, and this is an ongoing thing, right? If you want to create tags, you want to change your pipeline, anything like that, change it in HighLevel first, and then come into GroupTrack and you'll sync it over. So now we have the pipeline here. So now I can come over here to integrations. And we're going to add an integration. Now we should have this one. Now we have that. We're going to select this one from the dropdown. You only want to use the one, and we'll have another space to do it for the tags, but you only want to do it, have one integration per account, per platform. All right, so now we're going to do GTHL demo, right? And so you're going to see here that these are going to match. Oh, did I miss stages? Hold on. Let's see. Where are we here? See, so you could see that there was no match here. So if I go to that integration, so you can see how it matched these stages. These did not match because it looks like I didn't finish building the pipeline out. So we're going to go back and get those stages added in. I did not scroll down far enough. So this is one of the reasons why building it in HighLevel first. Offer made. Makes life easier because GroupTrack will just take the pipeline stage names. However, GroupTrack has some really awesome pipelines and linked message templates that will make your entire experience a lot easier, right? So if you're in that boat, you have to do what we're doing here, which is copy pasting the stages to make sure that they match. Right? Almost there. The great thing is, if this is just copy paste, guys, it's really not that hard. Don't make your life difficult. Do not try to hand type this stuff in. Just copy paste and you'll be fine. All right, so now that we got them done, we're going to go back to integration. We're going to add the integration. We're going to select that integration we already built. We're going to verify and continue. Now we're going to select the pipeline we want to sync with. And now look at that. They're all matching up. So now I want to update GroupTrack stages to match the pipeline and link the Go HighLevel stages. And we're hit continue. So here you want to select yes for everything, to be honest. So there's no reason for you to unselect something. If you do that, if you might have a use case. It's super advanced. It's silly to do it for any. Yeah, you want to make sure you check all the boxes. And then click finish. And now that integration is built. So what we're going to do on the other side is we need to grab this webhook. And we're going to go into our account. And we're going to go to automation. We're going to create a workflow. And we're going to say a stage pipeline stage changed. And we're going to filter down to the GTHL, to the pipeline that we're working with. And I always write in the trigger or the action, give more context. What is happening? So we're saying that we added a filter that is only in this pipeline. So we want to make sure we say that in the trigger. Because you may remember today, but what happens in 6 months, a year, or when you have to have something fixed, or if you onboard more team members. And then we want to say opportunity created. And the filter is going to be in pipeline, and we're going to go to the GTHL demo. GTHL demo pipeline. All right, so these are the two triggers, and we're going to have one action. We're going to do the standard webhook, not the custom webhook. And then we're going to do paste here. Webhook GTHL demo pipeline. And actually this is, yeah. So make sure that the pipeline names match all the way across. GroupTrack webhook GTHL demo. Right? So the pipeline name in these trigger and actions, the pipeline name in the workflow action, the pipeline name in HighLevel, and the pipeline name in GroupTrack should all be the same name. It makes life a lot easier when someone's trying to fix something, or if you are getting any support, or if you're onboarding new team members. Okay, so next, we've now got this done. Your integration for that pipeline is ready to go. Next up, we're going to go over to tags. All right, we're going to create a new tag set. We're going to start from scratch. And we're going to call this, for my purposes, what's really cool is that you can actually integrate multiple tag sets. So if you want to have tags for just your member questions and only have those member questions in that tag set so they're easily findable, you can. If you want to have a tag set for email engagement, you can have a tag set for that. If you want to have a tag set, and these would all be synced tags, right? So the tag set categories is really just a way to organize your tags. If you're using GroupTrack plus HighLevel, all your tags should be synced tags. They should be, you create them in HighLevel first and then sync them over. All right, so now while we have this empty, we're going to integrate it. And we're going to select the demo, the integration we already built. We're going to verify and continue. And we're going to integrate. Now, depending upon the tag set that you're using here, you can select the appropriate tags you want to sync, right? So you can do just 1, 2, 3. You can do all, but it would behoove you to have them in sections so that it makes sense. So that when you're on Facebook and you have the side panel open, you can do a quick search for a specific tag set. You could see like all sorts of different use cases. So we're going to update these sync tags, right? So now we're going to go here. All right. So this is our webhook URL. We're going to grab this and we're going to go make one more automation. We're going to create a workflow, start from scratch, and we're going to say a tag change. Right? Contact tag. We're not doing anything else. It is just tags. And then we're going to hit webhook. GT GroupTrack tag webhook. And that's it. Right? That's what's really cool is let's do this. We're going to update sync tags.
And what Andrea was saying is if you have a second tag set and you get a second webhook, you create that as a second webhook in that same workflow.
So this is that. So we're going to call this GTHL demo webhook. Right? And now I'm going to show you what it's going to look like to have another tag set. So we're going to call this, start from scratch. We're going to call this email engagement. Now, if you are a Nerdly client or worked with us, you know what this is all about. So I'm going to show you guys how this one would be your email engagement. So we're selecting that same integration, right? And now we're going to integrate it. And now we're going to select the tag to sync. So we're going to come down here. Where is it?
You're in a demo account, so it's not there.
No, it was there a second ago. Okay, so fine. We're going to call these. Maybe I just misread it. Okay, so we're going to call this the text section. Edit name, texts. We're going to select which ones come in. And so we've got these specific tags, right? And we're going to update these sync tags. And so we see that here. So now we're going to come here. We're going to edit that integration. We're going to now grab this webhook. We're going to add another step. And we're going to call this text tags. And we're going to paste that. And if we want another tag set, we just keep going, right? And so this is going to get triggered whether it is allow reentry is on by default now. So yay that, right? And this way, any tag added or removed will fire off to GroupTrack. And since this is already integrated, any tag added or removed will be sent over to your HighLevel. All right. So the next thing we want to look at, let's go over to our pipeline. Oh, let's go to our demo. All right, so we're gonna go all the way. Like this is what we do in the we go all out. Okay, so now we also want to make sure that we have an initial stage, because otherwise when people get added to the pipeline, they'll be sent over, but they won't be put into a stage. And a lot of people misconstrue that as they didn't send the contact over. All right, so we've got our social. Do we want to make this attached to a Facebook group? Yes, let's do that. And I think I've got a testing stuff out pipeline. Testing group. Yeah, here we go. And let me clarify. I may or may not actually have this already attached, so I might have to remove it from another one. Okay, so let me remove it from here. Demo. Let me refresh. Gotta love web-based applications. Refresh is a magical thing. All right, so now I can come in here. We've got the group linked, right? And if your group link here is a bunch of numbers, please take the minute and go update your group settings and put a name on there. It's going to make your life easier and everyone's life easier. All right. So now we can come here and look at our membership request questions, right? We have to have our email address. And honestly, at this point, email address and phone to get to stay in the know, right? If you say to receive this one resource, they're not actually opting in to get continued communications. So we want to make sure that we stay compliant, right? We do not want to be spamming people. And if we say, drop me your email for this one thing, you're setting the expectation you're only sending this one thing. So now we come over here and we want to always apply this rule. And we're going to apply the pipeline to the demo. Why is it having me? There we go. And so now if I'm approving, right, that means they're already down here, that they've joined the Facebook group, right? And we want to make sure if they're already farther down and down the pipeline, like their current client, do we want to put them through this? That is a personal choice. Right now, I'm going to put this as here. Only update to this stage if it's new or ahead of the contact's current stage, right? That is, if this is for approving to your group, I would recommend that. However, if you need to just be aware, right? Everybody's business is a little bit different. Next, so the tags, so we're going to pretend that we already have a tag called, well, actually, we're not going to pretend. We're going to go over here. We're going to make the tag. We're going to come over here and we're going to come into tags. Where are my tags? We're going to call this lead FB group joined. Right? Assuming you only have one group. If you have multiple groups, then testing stuff out, add in the name. If you have just one group, lead-FB group-joined. The reason why we want to put dashes, underscores, or that under dash gets very easily missed. Spaces don't always sync to other platforms. They will in GroupTrack and HighLevel. However, future-proof your stuff. Get a consistent naming convention. Otherwise, it's a real fast way to be super frustrated and stuff not working. So now we're going to come back to the tags and we're going to create a category. We're going to start from scratch and we're going to say FB group testing member request answers testing stuff out. Right? And so we also have these answers: red, yellow, purple, dolphin, mouse, giraffe, badger. So we can also red. Now, assuming on your side that you don't have colors and animals, that you have pain points and ways they can start with you, right? So that's what the point of this is so that you can ask them contextual questions. And then we're going to provide a tag so that you know what they need, how you can serve them. And that's going to curate what kind of emails, text messages, phone calls, what kind of marketing follow-up do you want to have for them, right? Is this making sense to everyone so far? So they're telling you, and this is really about, this is one of the things I always say is your marketing system should be smart enough to respond to anything your clients say or do. If they say, I like purple, then why aren't you speaking to them about purple? If they say, I have a challenge with giraffes, then you should definitely make sure that you're speaking to them about how you can solve their giraffe problem, right? I mean, I know this sounds a little silly because we're using animals and whatnot, but if your client says, I have a lead generation problem and you have a lead generation solution, why would you talk to them about retention, right? If your client says they're having weight loss issues and you talk to them about, well, that's not a great example because weight loss could also be affected by stress management, sleep, and a lot of other myriad of things. But if your client, say you're in a relationship coach, right? If your client is happily married and you're providing them dating advice, right? That doesn't resonate. If your client is looking to start a business and you're talking about things that only apply after their business has been created and running, that doesn't make sense, right? All right, so now we've got our member request answers. We got our colors and animals. We're going to update the sync tags, right? Are you guys following this? I know I'm going pretty quickly, but also you can come back to this. So now we're going to grab this webhook URL. We're going to go back to our tag automation. And now we're going to say webhook. And we're going to say this member request. Right? So you see how we're just daisy chaining the tags, right? That is, do not do this for your pipelines. Each pipeline needs its own individual automation. All right, so now we've got our member request tags, right? And we've got our other tags, right? So now we're going to go back to our pipeline. Wait, did I need to save that? Oh, no. Hold on. All right, so we're going to go to our tags. We're going to go to edit integration, save integration. Great. No, it was fine. So now we're going to go back to our pipeline. We're going to scroll on down to our demo for today. Yeah, I'm a busy gal. I got a lot of things going on here. All right. So now we're going to go to social. All right. So now we've got our group linked. We have our default initial stage, right? So this is when you add to the pipeline at all, which means if you're out and about prospecting, if you are, so I would put it as lead identified because you don't want to put them in marked as friend and family until you are like, oh, these are friends and family, right? So that's where I will put this as your default. All right. So now we're going to go over here to social. We're going to create some rules. Always apply this rule. And we're going to say, this is going to go into the demo pipeline. And when they're approved to the group, they're now in the joined Facebook group stage. All right. Now, for me, wherever they are, I would still want them to go into the joined Facebook group stage because I want to make sure they get the welcome process. Now, we're going to do lead. Oh, we didn't sync that over. So let's go back and make sure we grab our Facebook group tag. All right. So we're going to select tags to sync. See, this is why it can get time consuming when you're doing this because, oh, right, I forgot that tag. Oh, that tag. So I historically have, as you can see here, synced all the tags. However, I will tell you, this makes it very, very challenging to identify specific tags you are looking for that are going to help you in conversation, right? So that's why you can do these in different segments to know, oh, these are what they like. Pretend this is lead magnets they've opted into. This is their member request questions. You can have a whole nother tag set for what have they bought, right? So that is what's going to help you provide that context. Ding, 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 as my friends, my friends say I should have a whole drinking game on how often I say or ask for context. Gotta love that narrow, spicy life, y'all. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the pipeline. We're going to make sure we're on the right pipeline. And then we're going to click on social. And now we're going to get the automations going. So we're going to always apply this rule. We're going to put them into, make sure that they are in this demo pipeline. We're going to put them in the join Facebook group. We're going to not going to toggle this one on because I don't care where, if they are clients, they're on retention. I want them to go through my Facebook group welcome sequence. So next, we're going to put them on the lead Facebook group, testing stuff out, joined. Next, I'm going to put a message welcome template. So we're going to use a template from this pipeline, because you can have different templates for each pipeline, which will help you have, you can say you have a similar process, right? So now we're in the welcome group. Already have that built. Prioritize it. And then if you want to queue it to a specific team member, right? So right now it's whoever clicks approve. However, if you have someone approving and you want the message to come from you, then we want to make sure that it's coming from me. So this way, someone else could approve people to the group, and that welcome message will still come from me personally, right? This is really helpful because, especially if you're ADHD, sometimes you might forget that you need to go and approve people in that group, but you still want that message to come from you. Or say, you know what? Kate's now going to send the welcome message. I'm going to have Kate do it. Or if I want Bridget to send the welcome message. So it all really depends, right? If you do not have one specified, it will be sent from whoever clicks approve, right? So then now we could also say, create a task. We're going to create a task in this pipeline. And we're going to say, follow up on welcome message. And we're going to say plus 1 day, right? Because guess what? You sent the welcome message the day before. It's social media. You should not wait a week to see if they saw your message, right? That is a lifetime, right? And then we're going to assign it to me. And then I can get a text or an email. I am a text gal. And then now for this one, I'm going to assign myself as a team member. And this all depends upon how you're handling your group. And then we don't want to set the status as anything yet because we don't know where it's at yet, right? Well, we could actually just say it is not read yet, right? Because we know that we have sent them a message. And then we can add a note if we want, and then click next and save. So now the reason why we have this tag is because over in HighLevel, now we have a tag that we can then have contact tag added, lead, joined, right? Now we can have, once they join, we can send them an SMS. Hey, hey, hey. We could send them an email. Hey, oh. Right? We can even do a voicemail drop. Right? You have to have a file. Do I have a file? We're going to pretend. Or, this is my favorite. Manual action to call them, right? How amazing would it be to get a personal phone call from someone who runs a Facebook group? Like, I know some of y'all are not into phone calls. I'm here for it. I love talking to people on the phone. I love talking to people. I love spoken word. It's so powerful. So, I mean, there's all sorts of cool stuff you could do in here, right? You could also add them to a custom audience because they're now in your Facebook group. So if you're doing ads and stuff, this is Nerd Plus stuff, but this is the cool stuff you can do, guys, right? Like you can now do anything, any of these actions, right? Do we want to get them in WhatsApp? Do we want to add math? Do we want to add lead value because they're in our group? Do we want to have a GPT send it something to GPT? Do we want to add them to Google Analytics? Do we want to add them as an affiliate? Say your Facebook group is for your affiliates, right? So now they joined your group, boom, they're automatically an affiliate, right? You want to grant them access to a course because say you're offering a free training in your course and get them into your community. You want to get them in your community. You want to, I have some really cool stuff added in here. Set custom field value. Create a subtask. Add them to ClickUp, right? Do some cool stuff here, right? Date format and create a QR code for them. Who knows, right? Like you do some weird Zoom stuff. So, but the point here is that you can send them that email sequence, right? And in this email sequence, we can go into the group and we could say, here, hey person, here is a great training on what you are looking for. And now they're sending here, and because I have that post tracker automation running on this group, if they comment, it'll automatically tag, react, put a DM to me from me. And because you already have them in your system, if you have a high volume of comments, you could just email them right away. All right. And so now we can also add a rule. Apply if keyword is found. Keyword is purple. Right? And we don't have to do anything else. All we're doing is applying the tag purple. Right? That's it. So you do that for your member request questions, right? So you can see here, figuring out what you want them to do. And then what you can do over here, we're going to save this because they're going to get their member request stuff here. But we can also then have a tag here of tag added is purple, right? So now, because they could answer this, and if you have a text message or anything else like that, I'd say like wait 5 minutes. Right? And then you can have an SMS. You could have another email. I hear you love purple. It's my favorite color too. Right? So now you're having a curated conversation. You're delivering specific resources because of what they told you. I think that's the meat and potatoes. Kate, am I missing anything else on here? We talked about the integration. We talked about the group entry question automations. We talked about some crazy stuff you can build over here. And also, if you just want this done for you, like you're like, that's great, Colleen. That sounds super cool. I don't want to do that. You can pay our team $150 and we will bippity boppity do, wave our magic wands, and it is done for you. Now, to be clear, don't do it at that price for a custom setup. If you want to do things the GroupTrack way, which is with this standard pipeline, so you get your Facebook group, pipeline with a group, with the standard GroupTrack things, with a standard, well, like if it's standard, yes. If you want some custom stuff, grab a call, let's nerd out, see what you're trying to accomplish. Because as we tell our clients, when you're talking to the nerdly gals, if you can dream it, we can build it. All right, I know today's training was hella long, 50 minutes. Holy guacamole. I wanted to make sure you guys could see what all is truly possible, right? And it's not scary hard. And if you need help, no matter what high level system you're on, we can do consulting, we can do support, we can, be your business nerds that will help you make tech simple, because we'll do the nerd stuff and you go do the serve your client stuff. All right, with that, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go continue moving heavy stuff on my first floor so the plumbers and floor guys can demo everything and hopefully have a kitchen in the before the end of the year. All right, later nerds.